coming to you from the top of a castle that is not yet fully constructed. This is the Link to the Past, or not Link to the Past, Super Mario Maker 2. I'm having a bad day today. I'm sorry about that. Super Mario Maker 2 Weekly here on Speed Gaming. As you heard, I am joined by Vitasia. I am also jumping at the last minute, which is why I'm not there yet. I am Cyclone. How are you doing, Vitasia?
Man, I'm excited for another week of Super Mario Maker 2 Weekly. This community is growing so fast. We have, we have our winner from last week, Chaos Legion, on the stream, but we also have three newbies who have not been on the Mario Maker 2 Weekly stream, but absolutely some regulars in our speed gaming community. McLovin, In the Name of D, and Sergeant Snivy.
I think the seeing DT up there actually got me to say Link to the Past for a moment there. That was what caused confusion. I'm so used to seeing him playing Link to the Past randomizer. I don't know if I've ever seen him playing Super Mario Maker 2, so it's going to be nice to see him doing something a little different himself, as well as you mentioned, McLovin and Sergeant Snivy, who I think they're all new to the weekly format here on Super Mario Maker 2.
Absolutely. So just going down the breakout of how we're going to do it for Mario Maker 2, we have 5 levels that are user-submitted levels, and we're going to have a poll up for you guys to vote on your favorite of these 5 levels for this. So these are 5 user-created and community-generated levels that these guys are going to race and try to get their first one finished with all 5, and that's going to be part 1. After that, we're going to take a little bit of a break, and then part 2 is going to be 15-minute segments where they're each going to run one level and just try to get the overall best time on each of those levels, and they're going to have 15 minutes to do so. That's about optimizing the best run for those 3. Some of these levels can be highly optimized. Others have a little bit more variance in it, so we're going to see that. After that, we're going to take another little bit of a break, and then part 3 is going to come in, and it's going to be just an endless expert run. Finish as many levels as you can do in 20 minutes.
So the first part of the series, as you mentioned, as I noticed the countdown is about to start here. So the first part of the series, as you mentioned, is that marathon. We're going to have 5 levels selected. These are levels that are submitted by people just like you, just like Vitasia, just like me, people like us. And they're just creating levels in Super Mario Maker 2 and submitting them for the weekly event. Sometimes it might be a level that's already been up for a while and just hasn't been seen by a lot of people. And sometimes it might be a level that's newly submitted for this event. So we're going to be seeing 5 of those levels. They're going to be blind runs by all of the runners in this event, in this marathon. And they're going to be done in sequence. Whoever finishes them first will win the marathon sequence, and we'll move on to the speed runs after that. So here we go. We're underway. All 4 runners are starting to hit start in turn here. We'll try and get them synced up a little bit, but we're not too concerned if we can't sync it up perfectly here.
All right. So our first level is from one of our frequent contributors, Bob McName, Gust in the Gully. And this is using the night theme for the desert, and it involves some wind gusts here. Lots of level changing, lots of these moving conveyor belts, and some dropping shells on our heads. This is really an interesting level.
McLovin already taken an early death from one of the falling Buzzy Beetles, not seen on the screen. You can actually go up or down. I think you can also go through the middle in some places. So there are a lot of ways you can get through this level, depending on how you jump around. This would be a very interesting level from a speedrun perspective, because it feels like a really good speedrun. A lot of the challenge in this, as you just saw on McLovin's screen, is avoiding those flying beetles with the spikes. You have to spin jump on top of them. So if you're not spin jumping, you can land on top of them and take a death just from trying to run normally.
And we did see Chaos Legion and DT already go ahead and finish that first level. This would be a great one to try to speed run and optimize to get the best one, because there's so many different routes. Chaos and DT are now moving on to our second level called The Climb. It's going to be one of the vertical levels, and it is made by another one of our wonderful community creators, Kuchiri.
Vertical levels are a new addition to Super Mario Maker 2. You had to previously in the original Super Mario Maker chain together separate sections by pipes. And you couldn't actually do it as a vertical level. Now you can do a straight vertical level, which is where especially comes into play here. You noticed as Chaos fell down and as DT fell down, a nice preview of what they had to do. They have to avoid the red blocks, which have spikes. They can walk on the blue blocks, which do not have spikes. They have to go through this obstacle course as a cat. because they have to climb all the way up. They only have limited cat power-ups, so if you're not able to make it through, you get a hit somewhere, you're going to have to go back to wherever you last took a checkpoint or back to the beginning if necessary.
Oh, and DT is showing us exactly why there, because you cannot get up without that cat suit, and it was just before the checkpoint. So
Yeah.
Chaos actually showing us, Chaos just lost his cat suit, so we'll see if he can get through or if he has to make the trip back.
He might be able to... Oh, look at that jump. That was a nice jump. Good finish by Chaos, losing the cat suit, but being able to make a fancy jump to get to the final pipe and to get to the flagpole. He is the first out of there. Sergeant Snivy is starting the climb right now. I believe this is his first run at it. McLovin is just exiting the first level right now. We'll see if we can get the levels update in the middle as well. I don't think we have that going quite yet.
Yeah, we'll be working on that. In the meantime, Chaos Legion is going to start on our third level. It is another one from Bob McName. This one is called Down the Rocky Chute. This one does appear to be another vertical level, but it's going to be a vertical red coin level.
Now, this is similar to a level that we had, I believe it was last week, actually, that we had a level like this, where we had to go around... No, 2 weeks ago. I commentated 2 weeks ago a race where we had a level like this in an airship. Now they're going up and down the chute instead of going through an airship level.
Well, you know, vertical level designs are something that's big because it's new in the Mario Maker, with Mario Maker 2. And then the red coin levels have always been fairly popular at the very least. So it's really nice to see another one. Chaos Legion, man, made really quick work of that one.
DT losing his cat suit as well in the climb, so he's going to see if he can make his jump up and get through, and he just landed on some more spikes. This might be really tricky. He can still do it. We saw that jump from Chaos Legion. Nicely done. DT does get it. He will finish the level.
All right, so Chaos is on level 4. It's designed by GFE. It's called In-Service Inspired Classic Mix. That was done incredibly quickly by Chaos. Oh my god.
We didn't even get a description out for it. That's just how good Chaos is at this game. He gets through these blind races super fast. He's really good at this game. So welcome to Chaotic Crystal Mine. This is, I'm surprised we're saying this already, the last level in our marathon. And also not that difficult level. There are some challenges, making sure you avoid the spinies, using some POW blocks at the right time. Those thwomps, if you come in at the right angle, they will actually fall, so you can't bounce off them if you were planning to use them. So this can be a little tricky to get through on the initial outset here.
Oh my goodness, he's just tearing through this.
Remember how I said Chaos is good at this game? I think he just proved it. That's already a GG. We've only been going for, what, 10 minutes?
Yeah, less than that. My goodness, I think that was, if I'm counting down the timestamps from go to when Chaos finished, that is 6 minutes.
My goodness, that is tremendous. 6 minutes to go through 5 blind levels. And here we have Sergeant Snivy still on the 3rd level. We have McLovin still on the, I believe that's the 4th level. And no, that's the coin level. So that is the 3rd level as well. And we have, no, DT is on the 3rd level.
Yep. DT's on the 4th one.
Oh, that's
He's
the 4th
on
level.
In-Service, yep. And remember, everyone, go ahead and stick around. We have part 2 of the race. We wouldn't just give you 8 minutes of action and then call it good.
Yeah, we are going to have some speed run levels ahead. We're not going to reveal yet which levels they are. The runners, I don't believe, have been informed yet as to which levels are going to be speed run, but we will be spending, I believe, 15 minutes on each level. And what we're going to be doing when we get to that point is trying to get the best time. We'll talk about that more in a moment as well. Let's follow the rest of the marathon in the meantime. We may be able to replace Quest Stage with another runner if there is one available, but if not, then that is fine as well. Oh, McLovin taking a fall into the pit here. Now, explaining this fourth level, the mix here. This level is a combination of several segments from the original Super Mario Brothers game. You notice the classic initial format from 1-1. Here's some Hammer Brothers from several stages. They appear on the blocks in that format we're going to get to this area, which is from World 8-2, where you have to run across those two pits and then make a big jump. And some bullet bills from World 5, World 7. And once you get past that, we see some other shenanigans from 2-3 and 7-3 to finish it off with a bounce on a Koopa Trooper to the goal.
That sync, both McLovin and Sergeant Snivy finishing right about the same time there.
And then the name DT is on the final, I think that was our final level that he's on right now. Yes, it is our final level. So they're all on the last level right now on the restream.
Oh, that's an unfortunate spot to end for McLovin. It was, you missed the full jump, but ended up still being able to hang on to that vine, but you had to wait for all the Koopas. Man, that's a speedrunner's nightmare right there.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a slowdown. Now he's going to, the thwomp fell, so forget that. He's going to have to get back up. He decides to just take the death. You can get up from there, I believe. I think I did that once myself.
Yeah, this last level, from Professor Renderer, Chaotic Crystal Mine, it's just a nice little speed run level. Just a nice little platforming, and just hold right, run as fast as you can, twirl spin when you can.
Ooh, McLovin getting eaten by one of the plants hanging out on the wall there.
So both Sergeant Snivy and In the Name of DT have both finished now. So we're McLovin is the only one on the restream that we are waiting on. We are going to allow all the other runners who are involved in this particular race to go ahead and finish before we get started with phase 2. We have not yet announced which races are going to be the 3 that are going to be optimized. If I have an idea just based on what I know that our community preferences are and some of the discussion that goes on. The idea is always that you want to do levels for optimization that have some different options that you have, like we saw in Bob McName's earlier level. So I'm betting it's going to be one of those. But I don't know. This other one by Renderer might also be fun from an optimization perspective, because it is just a hold right and go sort of one.
Yep, I agree with you. The first level and this level right now that McLovin is still on are both good options for speedruns. The first one, as you said, because there's all sorts of options. There's all sorts of ways to try to find the best time. Whoever finds the most optimized path through the stage will be able to get through fastest. So it's a really good option. I would predict that will be one of those 3. I'm not going to say for sure because I actually have seen that list, but I would immediately predict from looking at the list that would be one of the 3. And this level is actually a really good level as well, as you said, because if you can grab things like that POW block and throw it at the munchers quickly, and if you can jump over all those thwomps with good timing, you can get a good speed run time on this level as well. So these are both really good levels.
All right, McLovin. Oh man, those icicles there. Can I just say that this particular music that we are hearing right now, I love that Mario Paint introduced us to this music.
And yeah, you mentioned the Mario Paint theme. I actually remember playing that game. Used to do some things in that all the time. I wish we could have used some of the pictures from that on things in the past, because it would have been really neat to get some of that stuff off of there. But McLovin does finish the marathon right now. He is finished. I'm going to see if I can get updated as to whether we have any other runners still running here. If so, we may be able to swap them in. But if not, we can most likely move on.
DT is showing off versus mode. All right, it does look like the phase 2 levels have now both been posted. We have folks behind the scenes keeping track of everyone's scores. So the first level that we're going to see, I was right. The Gust in the Gully from Bob McName is going to be the first level that these runners are going to optimize. Now, remember, we have a lot of wind mechanics that we're going to be playing around with, as well as the conveyor belts. So it's going to be really interesting to optimize this one.
This is going to be a fantastic level to optimize. As I was just talking about a moment ago, and we'll talk about it again as the run starts, but because there are the conveyors that literally force you to the right, you're literally running at full speed. You have to make an instantaneous up-down decision. Where do you want to go? And there are some pits along the way and some enemies that can hinder your progress as well. So it's a really, really fantastic level for speed running. We're going to get to see some really good optimization here.
Yeah, so we're gonna give everyone a quick breather right now, and we're gonna all start this particular phase at the same time. So there's gonna be no cheating. No one's gonna start early. We just have some folks who are doing some versus levels right now, and oh god, that was mean. That we need everyone's help in determining what your favorite level of those featured are going to be.
Taking a look at Sergeant Snivy right now, he's doing some competition runs, it looks like, on the online. But as you said, we are going to have a poll going up soon that's going to show all the levels that are part of this week's festivities, and you will get to vote on which level you think is the best level. To go into more detail on that, there is a $30 prize for whoever wins on the level design poll. There's a $20 prize for whoever comes second. That's similar to the runners. Whoever comes first in the runners gets a $30 prize. Second gets a $20 prize. That's how our $100 prize pool split up each week.
Yeah, this is something that we are trying very, very hard as a community to get together and make sure that this is something that we can really grow and improve upon. We always need more levels and more runners, so please feel free to join us over on Discord. Join the races, and if you have a knack for level design, we're always looking for more levels. So feel free to join us. You might win some cold hard cash.
And there's nothing better than some cold hard cash. Now, it looks like McLovin is not going to win his race.
Yeah, we're getting ready for the poll. I think we're getting close to being ready for our phase 2 speed runs. Everyone has The Gust in the Gully by Bob McName loaded.
And we'll go ahead and we'll update that when this race actually starts here, as we have not actually started yet. But yeah, everyone is loading. I don't think Sergeant Snivy has it loaded quite yet. He appears to be stalled right now. And 4H does definitely have it loaded. In the Name of DT is sitting on it, ready to go. McLovin is on his wrap-up screen. Actually, it looks like yeah, congratulations to the gamer on the left who was Mario on his screen who won that race. But we're gonna get McLovin set up here for the first level in just a moment. Oh, is he starting another multiplayer match?
I hope not.
I hope not either. He did say quit, so he is out.
Yeah, we're starting with The Gust in the Gully, which is by Bob McName. I think Bob actually had one of our winning levels last week, if I remember.
I just put a reminder in the race chat to the runners. They need to be playing in the course world version of the race of the course. If they're not playing the course world version, they will not be getting a time as they complete the course. That means they won't be able to have any of their times counted towards the world record. So you can get a world record time playing in course bot. That will not count for anything because it does not go into course world, and it does not show as a time when you actually complete the level.
No, and Bob McName actually said he hasn't won since the first weekly, but there were some good winners last week. There were some actually awesome levels last week. It inspired me to start working on something that I'm really going to be excited once I can get the clear rate, a little bit higher than 0.5% on my.
I'm not sure if I like that laugh right now.
I come from, the people that have taught me level design and everything that I know about Mario Maker are people like Carl Sagan 42 and Grand Pooh Bear and Ryukar and the folks who take almost a sadistic pleasure in trolling people. So, yeah.
That explains the low clear rate. Anyway, moving on.
Hey, it's my level, it has 0 trolls in it whatsoever. It is just entirely it's faithful to the source material. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. Anyway, it looks like McLovin is trying to get to the course right now. He is now in course world, so he is going to be joining everyone else in the speed run version, it looks like, and we should be good to go here. I think all of our runners are good, so we'll just wait for a signal on the back end that we are getting started. We'll get this first race of this optimization segment underway.
To answer chat, I don't believe Chaos or Coas or however we're pronouncing his name dropped from the run. He just requested to be swapped out. So we have Andy who volunteered to jump in. Thank you, Andy.
We just got a signal. The go signal was given, so we are going to be getting underway. The first level we are optimizing again is the level coming up in the middle here. It should be showing up in just a moment. That did not format the way I expected it to. Well, tell you what we'll do. Apparently, I don't know how to do that properly, so we're going to do that a different way.
Hey, you have more power with that than I ever do. So they don't trust me to push buttons over here on Speed Gaming. They just like my pretty voice.
Oh, pretty voices are good. So we're going to get the formatting in the middle of that fixed very quickly here. In the meantime, we are starting the optimization of Gust in the Gully. We'll just do it that way. That should work for now. And optimization has begun. So what we're going to be doing is not so much seeing who finishes first. That is completely irrelevant now. What we're going to see is who finishes faster. So someone can take a death and someone else can finish first, but it doesn't matter. Whoever has the fastest time is what's going to matter here. I believe the record on this was about 32 seconds or so when I saw it yesterday or this morning in testing. So that's about around the mark they're going to be trying to beat here. And it looks like Sergeant Snivy has already beaten that, hitting it at 273. We had 300, so that means he's at about 27 seconds. Let's see what he shows. 26.912. There's already 21 seconds on there.
Yeah, so they're looking for 21 seconds if it's a 300-second level. So we're going to be looking at finishing with about 79 or fast, 279.
279. So Sergeant Snivy going to give that another run. 26 was not a bad first attempt for an optimization, but you have to avoid all those situations where you can end up wall jumping back to the left. You have to make a clean run from left to right. It looks like the 21-second time probably did a very good job at that, assuming you take about 10 seconds on each map plus the flagpole.
Oh, I love Andy's routing over here. He's just hardcore using these conveyors because they're doing nothing but pushing you even faster. I would not doubt if Andy had a pretty good time.
That's a 24 I see there on the 276 on his timer. So that's a 23.814 was his actual time.
And all he did, he was using those conveyors to just run and hold right and go as fast as he could. This is going to be one of those runs that, sometimes you want to stay in the air and keep going as fast as you can, but you want to avoid any sort of wall climbs and just keep moving left and using those conveyors as much as you can.
I was just watching Sergeant Snivy. He had a really good run going and then just bonked into a wall and then ran into a spiny, and that ended the run. Very good run he had up to that point. I think he's going to be challenging for that record very soon. He just had a bonk there, unfortunately. McLovin having too many jumps in getting up to the upper path here, so he's going to have a slower time here. We'll see if we can get him recropped as well. I see his timer is cut off, so he can't see the end of it here.
So what would be your strategy on this sort of phase, Cyclone? If you start bumping into a wall and you're sliding down a wall, do you just immediately cut your run off, knowing that, hey, this is not going to be enough of a run to get any sort of a world record? Or do you keep going so you can try to optimize something else in the race? What's your preferred method?
Having speed run levels I liked before and actually being a record holder on at least one level I know of that I think I still have. My strategy would be if I have a very optimized run already and I hit a bonk and I know my time's going to be slower, I cut that off. I know I only have 15 minutes in this phase. I'd cut off that run and try and do another run and try and make it a clean run, knowing I have a limited time to do runs. That's the strategy that I would employ.
And we do have the poll up for everyone in chat. So go ahead and get your votes in on your favorite level. I'm going to reserve the discussion for my favorite level for a little bit later in this particular race. Yeah. But, I mean, man, we're looking at some great runs so far. People are really starting to get used to these conveyors and the wind mechanics on this one.
Yeah, people are starting to get the hang for this. Like each level has its own unique element in it. And the really interesting levels introduce those elements in a very new and unique way. For example, on-off switches being hit by Koopas to create a timed aspect, like things like that. Conveyors in this one are the main element, and it's a way to teach you to learn to run on the conveyors in the most effective way so you can jump in the most optimal way and get through as fast as possible. And I think you said it best earlier. Sometimes you may want to jump off a conveyor belt, maintain that up air momentum to gain an extra split second or two. I've actually seen some of those 10-second levels where if you run the level the way you normally would expect to run the level, you can't clear it. You have to literally take a jump off a conveyor and get the extra time in the air to make sure you can make it to the goal.
Yeah, different speed runs. And this mechanic is really interesting because we still have the wind to contend with, so it's still going to push you. So you're going to get some extra speed being in the air, but you're also going to get extra speed being, on the ground, on the conveyor belts. What you're trying to avoid at all possible costs is not moving forward. If you're spending any time doing wall jumping on this level, you are wasting time.
Yeah, if you bonk into a wall, you're going to be having some difficulty in getting fast time on this level. That is for sure. And the walls are placed in ways that they will easily get in the way. So that makes optimization of this level super difficult compared to if some of those walls were not there. Like, see that wall jump that DT just did, for example, right off that piece of wall.
Yeah, as soon as he saw it, he said, nope, I'm done. Hide over my shadows. Yes, we do read chat. We do try to interact with chat because we love you. And without you, we wouldn't have a broadcast. I mean, we would, but it would be less fun. So.
Yes, we like to see the chat and see what everyone in chat has to say about the levels as well. And sometimes we will comment about certain things we see in chat. So we definitely do read the chat. Speaking of, I did see that Miss Metroid did post the poll. You mentioned earlier the poll is there now. And I'm just going to take a quick look at myself, see where we are on that poll. And no, I don't see any votes in yet. So everyone, please go ahead and get your votes in on that poll. And feel free to have your voice heard.
Oh, man. Sergeant Snivy has an amazing run going right now. That was one where he was holding right almost the whole time.
Oh yeah, Mario time.
22,190. I think that's the shortest time that we have amongst our runners up to this point in time. Man, still has not beaten the actual world record for this level. Whoever ran this as the world record really optimized this.
Yeah, this had to be. Again, keep in mind that the person who did this probably had a lot more than 15 minutes to work with this level. He obviously spent time figuring out the exact route to take, the best way to map the level. We only have 15 minutes to do that. We may not hit this world record. It is possible this world record may stand when this is all said and done. So I see a 22.767 from McLovin right now. That was a really good run, but again, just shy of that world record. He might be close to the optimal route here. Just has to shave off about another second or so here.
And with these shorter levels, levels that take less than 30 seconds to do, you can get a lot of runs in. But the problem is that, shaving off a full second in a level that's only 22 seconds long really becomes difficult at this point.
Indeed. Even shaving off just a tenth of a second be really difficult. If you're looking for a tenth of a second, you're thinking you already have the optimal path. There's no way you can improve that. But how do they have an extra tenth of a second? They just have that extra boost off a conveyor somewhere, or that extra running time on a conveyor, whatever the case may be, or an extra wind gust where they didn't have to deal with a wall bonk. And it can be challenging to find that extra tenth of a second sometimes.
22,018. I think that might be the top one for Sergeant Snivy.
That might be our running top time, yeah.
Yeah. The key to speed running, hold right. That's it. Just hold right.
Oh, and also hold Y.
Hold right, hold Y. Jump when you need to. That's all it is. Everything else is just flair.
So we're down to about 5 minutes left according to the timer. We do have in the name of DT has a timer for us to help us keep track of how much time is left. Thank you for that. McLovin must have noticed the timer on his screen and realized that was too slow, so we're going to redo that run.
Hide Over My Shadows does ask in chat, what if the world record is pixel perfect? I mean, that's fine. We don't... Remember, we're not trying to break the world record here. We're trying to... These runners are completely blind before today, before they just ran the race in phase 1. So they are given 15 minutes effectively just to optimize this, and that's it. Just get the best possible record you can in 15 minutes. If we don't break the world record, so what?
Yeah, it's fine if we don't break the world record. We're not worried about breaking the world record. We're working on who can get, or we're looking for who's able to work out the best optimal route in the 15 minutes that we give the runners outside of the marathon, which they obviously get their first round in the marathon. We're giving
21,746. We have 0.2 seconds left before the world record on Sergeant Snivy's side. Yeah, I think he's got
a world record, but it's close. He could still do it.
Three and a half minutes. That's a good 3 or 4 runs at least.
At least given us a 20-second level, and you have the time for 21-second level, you have the time for celebrating the victory and such. You could easily pull off 6 or 7 runs easily in that time if you complete all 6 or 7 runs.
I think at this point, the other thing that the runners are trying to do specifically is going to be attempting to run and apologies for that. My window's open. You're not only trying to maintain your speed as you're going through and avoid any wall bonks, but you're also at this point trying to avoid running on any ground that doesn't have a conveyor. You notice for all of these runners, there is that midway checkpoint that runners are still grabbing, but there's a kind of a wide swath of ground that has no conveyor.
Oh no, DT wasn't as close as I thought he was. Okay, so DT is going to clock in about a 23 and change here, I believe, as he's going to get right now. Snivy with a 21.619. He is literally 2/100ths of a second away from the world record. Can he get the world record? That's who we need to pay attention to now. He's probably going to be the one to do it.
He has just been going. Oh, I think he
That
missed
was a
it
bonk.
there.
Yeah, he missed it. And he took a death as well.
He's not the only one. Looks like Dobbs also in who was amongst our winners last week. Dobbs is also posting a 21.640.
Oh my!
He's right on Snivy's tail.
So Dobbs is running behind the scenes. We obviously have Coas still behind the scenes as well, plus any other runners that we may not have seen on stream yet. So we're going to see later on some of those other runners on here as well.
Really, the difference that I'm noticing about those guys who are able to get sub 23 seconds is jumping and letting the wind carry you past that portion where the checkpoint is, because that's a large area without a conveyor and it's slowing folks down.
We are in the final minute of this levels runs right now. So we're only going to have about a couple more runs at most for each of our runners here. And we are down on Sergeant Snivy, watching where he is right now. He hits a wall. I don't think this is going to be a speed perfect record here. He hits out at 281. He has to be under a 278 for sure. He's not going to get it. He knows it. He's going to get another run in before time runs out. This will probably be his final run. And he hit a wall. He can do one more quickly. I think we'll allow this one to go if he can get it in.
They do have to finish by the time the timer hits 0, though. So even if they're on their way, I mean, if they're a ways away from the checkpoint, we wouldn't.
He took a death. That's going to be it. This is going to be the end of the speed runs here. The timer on DT side has started counting up, which means we are past the 15-minute timer. He's already stopped his runs. McLovin, now there was a little bit of desync, so McLovin might have still got that in time. And 4H probably is out of time now. He is on his final run. That won't be a world record anyway, but I don't know if it's his best time, but it will not be a world record. Dobbs, you mentioned earlier, had a 21.640. That was mentioned in the chat. So we're going to get a quick scan of the channel to see what the best times are that are posted here. And we'll get a further update later on as to how those affect the rankings here. In the meantime, the runners will get ready for our next level, and we'll update that one in a moment here.
Yeah, it did look like Sergeant Snivy actually hit first place there with the best time, the 21.619. That is amazing. Also, oh God, that is so close to the world record. That is so optimized, Bob. Oh my goodness. So the next run that we're looking at, we're going to give everyone a chance to breathe real quick.
So the runners are aware what the next level will be. It looks like we are going to be doing Kuchiri's level, the climb, as our next level here. And we'll update that on our end here in a moment as well.
That was an amazing little speed run here. This next one is going to be really interesting.
Before we update that, I want to go ahead and give our final marathon results here. We do have one of our admins here, Miss Metro, just posted a screenshot of all the finishes here. In order, we have Coas Legion was the first to finish, followed by And4H, who was in our top left on the first segment there. The Hourglass also came in third place. Dobbs came in fourth place. Sergeant Snivy, who we were watching, came in fifth. In the Name of DT came sixth. Slim Kirby is also running today. He came in seventh. McLovin came in at eighth. And I believe that is everyone who was running in the marathon.
All right, so we are in the process of getting Kuchiri's level all loaded.
I'm just grabbing the level code information here. Make sure I put the right one in the channel here. And there we go. That will be updated in just a moment. So yeah, this next level that we're doing is the one that you have to drop down with a preview of the level you're going to be climbing through. You have to get through with the cat suit. The way that this one will be optimized is by being able to optimize where you jump in to the next segment and trying to get through without hitting any walls, without running into any spikes, which also slows you down, without having to give up some of that cat mechanics to do slower jumps. So it's going to be about getting through, namely still remaining in your cat suit to do it as quickly as possible, and optimizing all those jumps between the spikes and other segments.
Yeah, the name of the game is going to be not getting hit. So just reset as soon as you get hit. It's interesting. This level only is at 13 clears with 30 plays. This is one that was created, I think, just in the last week for this particular competition. So it doesn't have a ton of clears. I think someone in chat mentioned, get ready for this clear rate to drop. And you're not wrong. You're not wrong, GFE.
Not wrong at all. So looks like the runners are all ready. I'm just getting an idea when the race is beginning here, or when the optimization period rather is beginning. We're getting confirmation from one of our runners that he is ready, and everyone else seems to be ready. Hourglass has just posted that he's ready, so he's set to go. McLovin is ready. Coas has confirmed that he's ready. So I think we have everyone now, and we're going to be looking for a countdown on the back end to confirm, and that is starting right now. So we are going to get underway in about 30 seconds or so here.
As a reminder, we do have that vote, that straw poll. Go ahead and vote for your favorite level of the 5 initial levels. We're rerunning 3 of them right now, so we're getting probably a little bit more intimately familiar with those 3. But do get your votes in, because your votes absolutely matter to who gets paid this week.
We already have a clear favorite in the polls, but if you have a different favorite, make sure you get your voice heard, and who knows, you may be able to get one of those that level up to the top, and that level winner, that level designer may win the prize.
I'm gonna see if I can't get something special for this cat suit level going on. You guys,
I heard that.
This is Millie. She talks to me. Millie, meow. Okay, now you don't talk. Okay.
Little broadcast shy, I guess he is. So notice that Snivy also picked up just the one cat suit there. That's a strategy. If you were doing the level casually, you can leave the one cat suit sitting there. Won't help us in the optimization segment at all because, needless to say, if you have to go back down, you're not going to be optimized anyway.
So Sergeant Snivy is doing something interesting here. He's trying to figure out the most optimal way to do each individual section. And then he's diving in. He's not necessarily worried about getting through fast, but he was doing it section by section, which I like.
Yeah, this is kind of like a practice run. Get your feet wet, see what you can do quickly and what comes out slowly, and that way you can eventually put on the cat suit, piece it all together, and figure it out in a real run. This he doesn't have his cat suit right now, so he's not going to have a. He can't even finish this half of the stage right now without the cat suit, as he's going to find right now. But so he's getting a good feel for what the bottom of the stage is like, and he's going to try and do a run from there. We have In the Name of ET was our our second to run a finish, it looks like. And 4H looks like he might have already completed a run. I didn't catch his time if he did. We have a 55 seconds from DT. That is already a new record.
Yeah, it is amazing how, the first level was already entirely optimized by members of the community. And then this one, it's like, oh, well, it was done before, done for this week, only just been designed. So yeah, we're setting new records already.
Yeah, and some levels are like that. Some levels may not necessarily have a speed run vibe to them. But it's not that we're just looking for levels that are very clear speed runs. Obviously, we'd like to get at least one of those every week if we can. But it's also about looking for levels that can otherwise have optimization done to them to try and make them as fast as they can be. So a level you might not think of as a speedrun level, any level can be a speedrun level if you can find a way to optimize it.
And what I really like about this particular version of Super Mario Brothers and this one is that you have different jump commands. Like you can do that high jump, which is really going to make quite a bit of difference in this particular stage. I've noticed a couple spots where the high jump will really end up playing well.
McLovin going down to no cat suit, small Toadette right now. I've been running with Toadette lately myself. I like playing with Toadette. And 4H is doing another run right now. DT is restarting his current run. McLovin is starting a fresh run. And Sergeant Snivy, I think he's trying to put in a first time right now. Now you notice that the cat suit will not last completely on. He's going to have to take another damage boost here. The cat suit will not last on every segment here, on every wall. You will eventually get tired as a cat. You have to revert to doing regular wall jumps at that point instead of clinging to the wall. So there is a time limit to how long you can actually climb on each without hitting the ground.
And Dobbs, who is not being streamed right now, but he has posted our first sub 50 seconds. That is a 49.933 on Dobbs's end.
Very well done by Dobbs. And 4H climbing the flagpole. I guess with the cat suit, you have to remember you're still climbing the flagpole.
I think the time still automatically stops, though.
I think it does.
Remember right?
I think it does. I think you're right. So we have a time of 1:13, it looks like, from McLovin right now. That is far away from our 49-second world record. And we have a finish from DT. And DT's new time is a 51.137, about 2 seconds behind. Sergeant Snivy starting a fresh run. McLovin is climbing the first half of the stage right now, I believe. No, that might be that is the first half, yes. McLovin is losing his cat suit there. He's going to have to do the rest of these wall jumps without the cat suit.
I think the first part of the level, the pre-checkpoint portions of the level, are the only ones that I'm really concerned about the cat suit, because you really can't get past some portions without the cat suit, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree with you. That first segment of the level is a lot harder without the cat suit, whereas if you don't have the cat suit in the second half, knowing certain mechanics, like for example the high jump, can still get you around some of those segments. And 4H not happy with that run and is going to go ahead and restart that.
Astro Bleen, I will tell you that it is not necessarily a point that, I mean, other runners have to stream their own individual channels. That is just kind of a general rule for anything involved in speed gaming. If you're running a speed gaming race, you have to be streaming on your own channel. And those folks who have volunteered to be restreamed onto the Speed Gaming network of channels are our featured runners. So when you look at who we have particularly streamed, that's fine. But in a community race such as this, all the runners are on at least their own personal streams.
Yes, all of the 8 runners who are racing this today are showcasing on their own streams what they're up to and how they're doing. We're only able to show 4 logistically on our stream at a time. So that is why you'll see that some runners eventually get swapped in and swapped out periodically. For example, I know that Slim Kirby, Dobbs, Coas Legion, and one other are the off-stream runners that we have. They may be featured on stream later on.
You know, these bullies, the smaller bullies, are really providing an interesting deciding factor on these mechanics, because some people are able to jump entirely over them. Other folks are dealing with them in kind of different ways.
Yeah, they are really one of the real challenges here. As you see, DT just got pushed back by one of those bullies there, and he didn't like how that bully segment went. So that's what's causing, in his case at least, a decision to restart the level at that point. So that is turning out to be one of those mechanics similar to hitting a wall in the gust stage that we had earlier. That's like hitting a wall and you're being pushed back and you're not being able to advance.
See, and you saw McLovin there, who just bounced on top of their heads and seemed to move through it fairly quickly. Other folks are doing different things. This is just amazing work so far by these runners. Everyone's coming at this with different strategies, and there's new records being broken. I think Dobbs is still in the lead in terms of the overall time. He's 47.898 right now. Man, I would love to see what Dobbs is doing.
Well, we'll see. We may get a chance to see him on the third run here, as there is one more level that is being run. We also have a marathon segment that will be coming up at random levels later on as well. So still lots of time for our other runners to potentially be featured here.
Oh, Andy's got to have a good time there, and he's starting over. Oh my God, Andy!
He did not like that for some reason, apparently. He must already have a time better than that we may not have noted. That might be what happened. So we are down to under the final in the final 5 minutes of the optimization segment for this level. DT has a good clear of the bullies on that run, so he is going to continue and try to finish. It's worth knowing as well, by the way, that when you hit the checkpoint, if you then take a death, when you restart from the checkpoint, the timer continues to count for your clear time. So if you die at about let's say at about 45 seconds into the level, and you hit the checkpoint at about 30 seconds, you're going to be restarting from the checkpoint 45 seconds elapsed. So that will count in your time.
So I'm really starting to get concerned about Sergeant Snivy here because he won the first of the 3 levels that we were doing. He has not even yet turned in a time for level 2 yet, and we're already at about the 4-minute mark.
This may just be unfamiliarity with the new Super Mario Brothers U controls here with or DS, I think it is, 3D World controls. It may just be unfamiliar with some of how that works. Maybe he just isn't as skilled in that as other runners are. That could be part of the reason for that. He loses the cat suit there. I'm watching his run right now. He lost his cat suit, going over the big bullies right now. He's determined that it's quicker to do this losing the cat suit, apparently, than it is to do it with the cat suit. He's coming to the top right now. He will turn in a time here if he hits the flagpole. And let's see what time he turns in here. And his clear time is 49.363. He's 2 seconds shy of the record. We have a 47-second record that is now standing here.
So he still turns in a respectable time. At least he got a time in. I was concerned about that for a second.
I was pretty sure he finished one earlier too, but I just don't remember what his time was on that one.
Yeah, I think those 2 bullies are really what's the differentiating factor for some folks. If you can figure out a way to get past those bullies quickly, then that's the key to the time.
Oh, and 4H has a great time going. He took a hit from the cat suit, bonking on the pipe, but other than that, this should be a great time for him. McLovin bonking on the ceiling there. And that's a 48 for Andy. That bonk on the pipe cost him the world record, I think. He can still do this.
We're down to the last 2 minutes, so this is going to end up being 1, maybe 2 runs left.
Maybe a third if they have to restart somewhere in the middle.
Snivy is actually doing really good on this particular run right. I take it back. Commentator's curse.
Whoops.
I will never say that someone is doing incredibly well again because I just cursed them. Let's be realistic, that's a lie. I tell people they're doing great all the time.
I guess you could say I did that to Andy and 4H earlier too because of the comment that, look, he's going to have a great time, then he bonked on the pipe.
Hey, he still had a great time.
It was a great time, just could have been world record. Speaking of right now, he just lost the cat suit there, so he's going to have to restart that run. But we're in the final 20 seconds. This last run probably will not be able to be completed. And he knows it. He is going back to the menu to wait. Sergeant Snivy is finishing a run right now. DT has already reset his timer, so we've lost our internal timer. But McLovin is going to try to finish this run. I think this run will be in time, so I think this will count. I don't think Sergeant Snivy is going to get this one done in time. So let's see what McLovin turns in here. This will probably be the final run we count on the restream. 51 seconds. And he may not be aware the time is up.
And GG, does look like that Dobbs ended up taking that one. That was lots of runners turned in amazing times, but Dobbs just, I'm sure the difference was Dobbs found a way around those bullies, because that seemed to be the major hurdle for most people. And for our third level that we are pulling up, the third one is going to be In-Service Inspired Classic Mix by GFE.
I'll update that in a moment here as well on the display.
This is going to be a SMB 1 level, which, you know, there's a certain elegance to speedrunning SMB 1 levels. You don't have the long jumps, the high jumps, the spin jumps, the different sort of mechanics that you have in other levels. It's just you and Mario, and you gotta go.
And look who just got swapped in to join us on broadcast. We have Dobbs over in the lower left right now. So he's been crushing these first two levels, from what I understand, showing that he has the standing world record 47.898 on the climb. So if you want to have that world record, you have to beat him to get it. And that, when Dobbs gets world record, that's probably going to be tough to beat.
So we're going to give everyone a second to get GFE's level. GFE in chat, of course. Shout out to you, sir. Don't forget, we still have that poll that's going on for best level going on. You know, we still have lots of time left to vote. If you have not voted yet, please, please, please get your votes in. You matter. You know, I am personally a big democracy person. It hurts me to see so many people who do not vote. So get your votes in.
Yes, we want to see the winning level decided by a rather sizable vote here. We'd love to see a lot of people from our community get in and make that call. Our racers will eventually make a call themselves as to which level they like the best as well. They'll be invited to vote later as well when we're finished. So we're going to make sure that everyone's voice is heard and make sure that we do have a winning level that the community agrees deserves to win this event as the best level of the week.
Hey, GFE, buddy. I'm gonna tell you something right here, and this is me, Vitasia, talking to you, GFE. You know, I'm running an election right now, and I'm going to vote for myself. So I see no reason for you not to be able to vote for yourself. So do it.
I think it was asked to not vote for yourself. I think that's just something that was put in. I don't know if that's actually being enforced. I don't know if it's actually being enforced, but at the same time, it would be more proper, I would say, to vote for someone else. I'd feel guilty winning if I was deciding to vote for myself, for example.
I mean, okay, that's okay.
I think there is a rule against it too.
Okay. I concede the point. Astro Bloom says, I voted. When do I get my SG I voted sticker? You know, you'd be surprised. Oh, God. I have so many stories about that.
Savvy started slightly behind here, but we are underway in the last level right now. This is another one of those levels that is a really good speed run level because, again, you can use the mushroom as a damage boost, or you can opt to run it completely small and gamble that you're not going to get hit by any of the enemies along the way. But there are a lot of enemies to deal with. It can be a gamble to go small. So the question is, do you risk going for the mushroom, knowing that a piranha plant can pop up and bite you just like it bit DT there? Or do you gamble and... or do you take the mushroom, take the slowdown in time, or the fire flower later on, and know that you have a better chance of completing the level?
Here's something interesting. Dobbs was looking. He was hunting for shortcuts, and he found a pipe. He found a pipe that was a shortcut. So he says, "Yup, I'm taking it," and wanted to do a quick backtrack to make sure that that pipe was indeed the fastest way to do it.
This is what you call getting to know the lay of the land, so to speak. You're setting the level, find the best option for optimizing it, and then you're doing your actual runs to do it as quickly as possible. And and running into a Koopa there. Dobbs utilizing that pipe. That's a pipe room from, I think that's World 3 that pipe room comes from. Oh, no, that's World 8. That's World 8 that pipe room comes from.
All I know is it's a heck of a shortcut, and Dobbs is getting ready. Oh, if he hadn't died,
Ooh.
Dobbs is going to be turning in an amazing time here very, very quick.
Sergeant Snobby hitting the pit there, so he's going to start that run again. He hits the immediate bonk at the 1-1 blocks, so he's going to start again.
Andy turning in almost a world record time, 22:783.
Very close.
I honestly think that shortcut is actually faster than anything else these other guys are doing. And the thing to note is that everyone is in a chat channel in our Discord for this particular race. So when someone else posts a time, they are well aware of it. And Dobbs just posted, oh, he just finished. Let me see the official
now.
time.
We're going to see it right now. Let's see what his official time is. It is a 17.022. And everyone finishing at this point afterwards is going to see that and the reaction will be, huh? How do you do that? So there's going to be some exploration going on, I think.
I don't see any other runner on stream is using the shortcut either. They're not even looking for it.
As soon as they finish a run, they're going to learn there's a shortcut somewhere.
This is why when you're in phase 2, check the pipes. Check the pipe.
Check the blocks for vines or things like that as well.
There was a vine at some point, but I think at this point that's not going to be a shortcut.
I have a feeling the vine would take longer. Again, I haven't seen a run with both the pipe and the vine, so I couldn't confirm. But there's a good chance, as you said, it could take longer. And is getting a good run without the pipe. He's going to finish this, and he's going to see that there's a time about 3 seconds faster than him, and he's going to wonder how.
There's a 16.507 now, so it is now on this level. That's
2318 from An4H. You see him pause on the screen, thinking, "Huh?"
Snivy found the pipe. So he's going to be going that way.
An4H is checking the pipes now as well. He found the pipe. He knows now.
Okay, so Astro Bleem actually does say something that's valid. He says, in the first level, all I said you had to do was hold right. And for that level, it's true. You have to actually be clever in some speed runs. What?
Oh, the vine is slower. We found that it goes to a cloud sky and you jump off and run into a Koopa Troopa. So I think that will be slower. DT did find that out. So he now knows the vine is most likely not worth following.
took one of his valuable seconds to say, WTF, how?
While DT is still trying the pipe, the vine. He hasn't found the pipe yet. So I'll be curious to see if he finds a quicker time. He isn't happy with that time. It looks like he's going to start over. So he's going to. I wonder if he will try the pipe at this point. I'd be interested to see a run with the pipe and the vine together to see whether that is actually faster. I have a feeling it will just the pipe would be what leads to the fastest time.
Yeah, I think just the pipe would end up being the fastest time. I think if you're talking pure speed run, like if we're looking at the timer of, like if we had an independent timer outside of the game, it might be faster to avoid the pipe. However, when you're moving from the pipe from the upper world to the underworld, that isn't actually counting down any time on your timer in game. So it's going to be faster at that point in time. And since we're using the in-game timer, that's what we got to go with. And that's just consistency there.
And N4H getting bit by another Koopa Troopa. Dobbs using his pipe shortcut that he found. DT is also now trying the pipe. Ooh, barely makes that jump. I thought he was going in the pit there. Now, this being a very short level, they're going to get a lot more runs at this level than they did the other two levels that we did today. Because being a 17-second level with the pipe, assuming you do it fast, you can be ready to do the next run in about half a minute. So, and if you take a death or you restart a run, you can be done your run in 10-15 seconds and starting a new run.
Oh, Andy and DT have both found the pipe now. They're like,
Yeah, DT found that pipe about a minute and a half ago, I think. He's trying to run with both the pipe and the vine to get an idea if that's faster. We're going to get a confirmation either way, and he's determined immediately as he hits the ground. Nope, not faster. Starting again.
You got to wonder, we're over half the way through our allotted time for this particular level. You got to imagine these runners, if they took this time to find the pipe, they're like, oh God, I feel dumb. Like there is absolutely value to be had in doing some early time exploration to see if there's any cheese to be had. And there's absolutely cheese to be had in this level.
Absolutely. And I don't even know if the word cheese is the word I would use here, because the pipe is designed as a shortcut. So cheese would be something that is not designed of the level designer. This was a design of the level designer.
Okay, so it's not real cheese, it's Velveeta.
Okay, I'll take that.
That's acceptable. Okay, I'm glad that's
Oh, Sergeant Slivey missing the last jump on that run. He was going to fall into a pit, decides to start over.
So GFE, I'm going to ask you a question in chat. And I really would like to know, what does it feel like to see your level just get absolutely obliterated?
The immediate reply is he is just curious where the 0.005 is coming from.
Andy, I think, turned in a pretty decent time right there. We'll see what the timer shows.
And what it shows, as the screen goes yellow, we get a time of 16.458. He is 0.007 off the world record.
That's less than a frame. Like a frame is what, 0.016 or something.
Something like that. Jeffy's saying he was just curious if someone would try pipes. Well, someone tried pipes. I'm watching Andy right now. He's on a really good run right now. And he is hitting the flagpole. Let's see what that turns into. It was a 283, so that was in roughly about a 16, 17 seconds. Let's see what it says. It says 16.457. He improved by 100th of a second. So has 6 to go.
How is this game measuring like sub frames? How?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
At this point, if you bulk on anything, your run is over.
Yeah.
Like this is another one of those hold right to wins as soon as you buy the pipe.
Yeah. Dobbs is running another run right now. He's going to make the jump. And let's see what that turns into. It was a 283, so it is in the range again. And he is actually turning in a slower time now, 16.472. So Andy's last 2 runs have been quicker than that run that Dobbs just turned in. But Dobbs does hold that world record. I believe that was him that has it. And 4H turning in 16.458 once again. Sergeant Snivy turning in a 16.490. Dobbs hitting a Koopa Troopa. That run is invalid now.
Tygon Sam, what are you watching? You are watching the Speed Gaming Super Mario Maker 2 weekly. We are on phase 2 of the run where these runners are optimizing a level created that they just saw for the first time today. So this is an optimized run trying to get it going as quickly as they can. That run by Sergeant Snivy, I think, was going to be pretty fast. He might be pretty close. 16.451. Snivy has tied Dobbs.
16.455 for N4H. Now 16.451, even though that's a tie, the first person to get it will show in game as being the world record holder. So because Dobbs would have gotten it first, that means Sergeant Snivy does not have the world record. He has to actually improve it to actually get the world record.
I think that's how it goes in game. How are we doing it for our rankings, though?
I think it just counts as a tie.
So, Tygon Sam, our community makes the levels for running, and people contribute to the levels. We play test them to make sure that they're appropriate for the skill levels of our community, and the top runners get some cash prizes at the end of the week, and our top level designers also get some cash as well, which reminds me, get your votes in, everyone.
We're being given a correction in the chat. Dobbs is not the one who has a 16.451. It is Coas Legion who has a 16.451. So he is actually the one listed as the world record holder. Sergeant Snivy just tied him for the world record.
That's got to be optimized. Like, I don't know where you find the sub frames for that.
Yeah, this might be the best the level can be done. It might be it. But we will see what happens as we are in the last 30 seconds. We can get 1 or 2 more runs in here, depending where they are in the current run. Dobbs bonked, so he's going to have 1 more shot at it here. We do have a times channel on our server where they are being informed of the time remaining, so they will know this is their last run. Now as we come up, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time is expired. I don't think that run will be quicker for Dobbs, so that will not matter at this point, I don't think. But the other runners on our restream have all exited out of the level, and Dobbs would be registering a 16.455. So yeah, that was still 4 thousandths of a second shy of the world record. So yeah, 16.451. I think that is literally the best time you can do on that, as you said.
My goodness, that was very, very fun to watch. It was not so fun initially for watching people struggle to realize, oh wait, people are turning in sub 17-second times. There's clearly cheddar to be had, or sorry, Velveeta to be had, not actual cheese, fake cheese.
You mean the spray can stuff?
Oh, Cheese Whiz. Yeah, let's get some.
No, that wasn't what I meant, but okay.
Are you, man, now I want some Cheese Whiz. Just get some Cheese Whiz and just spray it into my mouth. Go all goofy movie on.
So anyway, we are going to be on a temporary pause here. We're going to get the times verified in the times channel, make sure everything is good to go. And we're going to be coming up to phase 3, which is our endless marathon of endless levels. And we'll talk about that more in a moment, because what's going to be coming up is different levels being run by all the runners here. And we're going to have different results depending on what levels come up for each runner. So it's going to be a question of how to optimize which levels are the best levels to try to clear as quickly as possible. And we'll talk more about that in a moment.
I'm going to give some folks a little bit of time. This is a good time, though, while everyone else is, getting a breather and doing what they need to do, is to go ahead. 1, reminder to get your votes in for your favorite levels so far of the day. But also 2, and most importantly, if you are interested in joining our community, we do have a Discord that I just linked into our chat channel. That's where you're going to go to do some level discussion, talk about level design, and also submit your levels if you are interested in also participating in these weekly runs. We do it every week, 2:00 Eastern time every Saturday, and the first place runner between the 3 phases ends up getting $30 prize. The second place winner gets a $20 prize. Same with our level design. If you have the best viewer voted on level, you also get $30, and then second place also gets $20. This is one of the best races that we have all week. Please, though, we would love to grow the community. Come join us over in our Discord. We promise we don't bite unless you ask us to, at which point then we do bite. In particular, DT, he's just one of those guys. Kidding.
Wait, we don't bite?
Not unless asked to. Consent is important. Cycling.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. I was asked to. Okay, never mind. So moving on. So I've learned that the next phase coming up is going to be, in the past we were doing normal difficulty endless marathon, but it looks like this week we're going to start doing expert difficulty on these endless marathons. So this is going to be a different challenge than we've seen in the past. We're going to be running levels that are a lot harder to clear. They're going to be more challenging as a result. There may be some trolls in them, which is why the clear rate is so low. We're going to find out. So this is going to make what I was saying earlier about how they're going to have to choose the levels they want to run. This is going to mean even more now, because the levels that we're going to be running are going to be those that have about a 3 to 5% clear rate, and sometimes possibly up to 10. And finding the optimal levels to run as quickly as possible. It's not about finding the optimal path through a level anymore. It's about finding the optimal level itself to run.
Yeah, and how this works is they're given effectively 20 minutes, and it's just beat as many levels as you can. You'll see Dobbs is running through. He has a score of 670 on Endless Expert. This is just a matter of completing as many levels as you possibly can complete as quickly as possible. If you end up game overing, go ahead and start over, and you don't reset your totals that we're keeping track of per se. It is just a matter of how many levels you complete start to finish within the Endless Expert mode.
670 is a fantastic number for Dobbs, by the way. He's that's his current high score, that's his current run. So any levels he gets, he has 99 lives. Any additional levels he gets, and I suspect he'll get a lot of them, will just get added right onto that tally. But for the purpose of our marathon, for this sequence, this will be run number 1. So we're not going to count those 670.
GFE, when's Endless Super Expert? Never. Those are all troll levels or people who hate life. So, I've had this discussion with other people in other Mario Maker communities, specifically. Super Expert tends to have extremely low clear rates, and that is by design. They're levels that are designed to eat up a lot of lives and just hurt almost. Expert, generally speaking, has better level design. The levels are designed to flow more quickly. Although they're still challenging, they aren't quite the super sub 0.5% clear rates that the Super Experts are.
I love what JFE is saying. You just keep skipping until you find one with a dev door. That would be about right, I think. But just like you said, Super Expert levels, they're levels that are designed to take 10, 20, 30 or more lives, and it's going to be as challenging to get to the other stage as it is to avoid tripping over all the dead corpses along the way of all the failed competitors along the way. So Expert is the highest difficulty we can really go with for this. And the levels are difficult enough to provide a challenge, but they are still clearable. It's just a matter of doing it in as expedient time-wise as possible and find levels that you know are going to be a pain to clear, such as pick-a-door levels. Those eat up some deaths by picking the wrong door, and you'll find that if a level like that comes up, for example, where you have to pick a path and you end up dying on spikes, you're going to find a runner probably skipping a level like that very, very quickly, because those kind of levels are just designed to slow you down and eat up lives in these challenges.
Yeah, as a general rule, whenever I'm going through, I'm going to skip anything that has a pick-a-door, pick-a-pipe. I'm going to skip anything that has Kaizo or Troll in the name, period, full stop, even if it's only an expert. I'm done with it. I don't care. Oh, my goodness. And you do have to feel your way around it. Some people are more inclined, some of the Super Mario Brothers, Soup U levels can have some really odd mechanics that are going on. I know the see-through pipes can lead to some really lengthy levels, so sometimes you want to avoid those because even though you can beat it, it's going to take quite a bit of time to get through. So there's all sorts of things that are back and forth that you take into consideration. We're not doing a no skip run, but the idea is that you have to use your skips kind of judiciously about what you can and can't do.
So those are the runners are getting set up for this marathon right now. We are going to be getting underway in just a moment here. I think DT is just moving to that screen right now. He's going to hit new game in a moment. I think he's going to be there. Sergeant Snivy is about to hit new game himself. So they're going to get to the first level. They're going to be waiting on the first level, but they're not going to hit go yet. So he's going to stand there and he has to hit A to play. So this is our start screen. We're going to be starting on this screen right here.
And, one of the interesting advantages that we have here, and this is subtle, but for example, Dobbs, he has got 99 lives. So, I mean, first of all, having a 670 score is amazing enough. Mm-hmm. So that's a little bit of flex right there for Dobbs. But also, Dobbs doesn't have to worry about ever having a game over. Ever. Through this 20 minutes.
Yeah, for the purpose of this marathon, he is going to be he will most likely not run out of lives at all. Any other runner coming in with 15 lives, you can have some difficulty on some levels and run out of lives very quickly. But he has 99 lives and he's running a 670. The odds are very low. He's going to probably even drop below 80 lives on his count. So, if even that. So, he's on a really, really good tear through this expert level format right now. I'll be interested to see how much higher he can make that in the course of just these 20 minutes. And Sergeant Snivy getting to the play screen himself. Going to take a quick look at the channel. I'm confirming that some runners are still getting ready here. Oh, nope, the countdown is beginning. So we will be seeing it on our screen in about 30 seconds or so. And at that point, the Runners will start getting levels. We'll see if we can figure out what levels they each get and whether any of them are good levels here. So 3 of our runners on the screen are starting a new game. Dobbs is sitting on a 670. We will deduct whatever he ends up at, or we'll deduct 670 from whatever he ends up at to get his actual score for this marathon. But as of right now, the runs should be getting underway for these marathons.
So I have a question, Cyclone.
Go ahead.
What do you happen to have the current rankings for folks? That spreadsheet.
I have not been looking at the spreadsheet. I actually don't have it. If you have access to it, then by all means.
I don't have access to it, unfortunately.
Oh, I haven't been looking at it. I'll have to see if I can get to that. But let's see what kind of levels we have here first. Dobbs has a looks like a crane and bouncy tires level, and 4H has to fly with a cape. So some cape strategies over some spikes. So far, it looks pretty benign. Let's see where he ends up with that. In the name of DT, having to hit a power block and run through a level quickly. That Koopa Troop is going to make that less fun. Dobbs completes his first level. And Sergeant Snivy has a goal level. And looks like he reached the goal while riding Yoshi, the goal is.
I hate that. I'm firmly in the kill the Yoshis camp.
And it looks like this has doors that, well, let's just say kill you. I would not be surprised to see him skip that. He just went ahead and hit new game instead of hitting skip. He could just hit skip and get rid of the level completely, but he wanted the fresh 15 lives, it looks like. So he hit new game instead. Oh, look at this level that Dobbs is in.
That looks disgusting. No, thank you.
Yeah, that level that Dobbs is in does not look fun right now. But he was almost at the goal.
It's a 10-second scary speed run level. Blah. Sergeant Snivy looks like he's in something that is, it's the hunt for the hidden block.
Oh, those are always a lot of fun.
And Dobbs found one with a Kaizo. Yeah, no.
And 4H noticing a 20-second speed run level. And yeah, these are he can do that in 20 seconds. It's just a very difficult jump. And he decides, you know what, I'm not going to waste my time here. This is what I meant when I said optimizing the levels that you run, because if you have a level like that requires a very skillful jump or something like that, it might take you about 6 or 7 tries to do it. You're better off finding another level. Look where DT is right now. He has to find a way to that flagpole, and I think he's... Nope, he hasn't skipped it. Yeah, he might give this another try.
Oh my god. I don't know if I recall seeing more skips than I have so far today. All these runners are just getting horrible luck. What did I say about good level design earlier? Oh, I take it all back.
Yeah, let's just say that some of the levels you're seeing here are not levels we would optionally feature as our marathon levels. Some of these levels are levels that need a lot of work. But that's what you get in Endless Marathon. You get pretty much any level that can be featured here at any time. Dobbs getting another clear, so that's, I think, his second level cleared, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, that is his second level, and it's just go. Oh, there's an auto scroller that Andy has, and he's skipping that.
Oh, we found Bowser. Cat Bowser is engaged.
Oh, and this one's another auto level. No, I'm skipping any auto scroll levels that are this slow as well. No, thank you. This is a gigantic waste of time.
This is painfully slow. Oh, looks like DT paused for a second to see what kind of level it was and decided to go ahead and make this play here. He probably was trying to guard against anything like a thwomp falling from the ceiling to crush him immediately or anything along those lines. And he decided to skip this level.
What is this level?
What is Dobbs in right now? So you have to use the Shalman to get through the spikes on that level. Okay.
Andy is in kind of a weird level right now as well.
Yeah, that's a really weird level. Just jump in time with everyone else. Yeah, this is... oh, he made it through. Very nicely done. Dawes makes it through and gets to the P-switch, bounces off a Bonsai Bill, hits the Koopa, runs into another Koopa and says, that's enough. Skip.
These are some... Am I allowed to call levels garbage? 'Cause
At this phase, perhaps. Dobbs now is in a level where he has to defeat 5 Boom Booms. I saw the goal specifically state that. And they start out stacked coming at you. That can't be fun. And they're able to jump up to the platform where the card is, so you can't just hang out up there waiting either.
Sergeant Snivy is in kind of an interesting on-off block switch level. These levels are horrible.
DT clears a level, and I'm gonna recall, I don't know if that was his first, second, or what it was. It was his first level that he's cleared. So he does have himself on the board. And Dobbs is still playing with Boom Boom, and with Andy going through a Pow Switch Jumpathon with a bunch of 1-ups floating around for no reason.
So I just hope everyone who is tuning in over here in the internet understands that, you know, when we call something garbage, we do it to protect our friends. Because this is some garbage, and if anyone ever tries to turn in something like this for a weekly level design, I hesitate to say that you will not be chosen.
I wouldn't even hesitate to say that. Dobbs in a very interesting level right now with the beat blocks. He's gonna, oh, the cat suit's gonna save him here. That was good thinking. So the blocks are gonna reappear. He's gonna probably hop in that pipe here. Hopefully get down in time. He did.
What was...
I don't even want to know. And is still trying to complete this power jump level. He got it finally.
Oh, what is boss spam? We have 2 Kitty Bowsers and one of the... Yeah, oh god.
It was interesting at that point, but at least he completed it.
And he's on a new course, Crazy Desert Speed Runs. It's a 18-second speed run.
And no wall jumps in Super Mario Bros. 3 physics, so he's going to have to take the fall there. So Sergeant Snivy puts in his second level. He's now starting his third level. It's a Japanese named level, which is not a good sign. Looks benign so far with bob-ombs, if you can jump off of them and stay afloat. That one somehow knocked himself out, so he fell in the crane. Crane grabbed him instead.
Oh, that was real close there, Andy, but he does complete that one.
DT finds a boom boom. Sergeant Snobby is still bopping off the bob-ombs. And he's at the goal, and he has not completed some mandatory requirement. I didn't see what it was, so we're going to take another look right now. It says... I didn't see it. After defeating at least 20 bob-ombs. So you have to actually defeat the 20 bob-ombs. I think you actually have to wait for them to explode before they count as being defeated.
Yeah, they're just jumping on him, and he's continuing to move on. You have to wait for them to explode while they're on screen, otherwise it's not going to count.
Yeah, so he can bop off 30 bob-ombs along the way, but if only 2 or 3 get knocked out or otherwise explode, they're not going to count as being defeated. The other ones. I think he's realizing this now as well. That one got knocked out. So this one's going to get time to explode. That one got knocked out, so these two are going to get time to explode. He's at 13 now.
You know, I remember last week for this particular portion of our speed run, we were close. Oh, there.
Snivy has the goal. Snivy
yeah.
can go the goal.
At this point in the race, we were having people who were turning in like completing 7 and 8 and 10 total runs, and I'm like, this time, I don't know if we're gonna get to.
Yeah, I think last week we were still doing normal difficulty, but now we're doing expert difficulty. So I just want to remind everyone, while we are working our way through this 20-minute marathon, get your votes in for your favorite level of the week. That poll was just posted in the chat once again. So get in there, get your votes in, get your voice heard. We want to give the best level designer the prize, a $30 prize for the best level. Second, we'll get a $20 prize, the same prize as for our top runners of the week. So make sure you get your voice heard and make sure your opinion counts.
Yeah, it's close right now. It is very close.
I was taking a quick look myself, and yeah, it is getting very close. I will reserve my own opinion as well in case we come to a tie situation, and I'll only vote in that circumstance, but it is a very close poll right now. Comment in chat that giant wing meowsers are the worst. I agree. I don't like dealing with them. Oh, Dobbs is riding a Koopa shell. That's stylish. It's also how you're supposed to do this, it looks like.
Yeah, that seems to be part of the level design there.
Mm-hmm. And look at this. We have the... I've seen something like this before with a giant mecha robot made out of things in winged shoes.
Where's this at?
Dobbs, he just took it out and got to the end.
That came from something SMB1, I remember.
Yes, SMB1. I remember seeing that in Super Mario Maker Original.
Yeah, that was an amazing level when it was first came out, because it was the first time that someone has used that kind of stack mechanic that really created something super fun.
I'm trying to figure out how that thwomp is supposed to get up there to move the blocks. There's some way the thwomp is supposed to get in and hit those bricks. That's what I'm thinking here anyway.
Where, on Dobbs' side?
Yeah, on Dobbs' screen. Look at the level he's in right now.
I think he's just supposed to damage boost it.
No, look at the where the bricks are and look where the thwomp is.
No, I think he's doing exactly what he's supposed to do.
Oh, okay, never mind. There's a flagpole there. That's right. That's where the flagpole is. So he just has to get to the flagpole. He's done it.
Are You Dead on 4H's side.
That's not a good sign.
Oh,
You can
troll.
Yeah, I would not be spending any more time in this level than possible.
Hey, pick a pipe.
Pick a pipe. Where are you going to end up? Yep, that's a good sign.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that level is suitably skipped. DT finding a lot of P switches to push. The goal appears to be to push all the P switches.
No, I'd skip that one.
I would too, to be honest. I think he realized he was doing it wrong as well, which means that he'd be doing it a lot slower. So he's trying to find a better way to do this.
Does game over matter? No, game over does not matter. It's just a matter of, just counting the total number of levels that you've completed.
DT is doing this a lot better now. Instead of trying to do one stack at a time, he's taking a few, then moving to the next stack. Now he's going to be able to push them all, and that's going to be that. The goal appears, he's done. I didn't even know pushing P switches was a goal.
You can do just about anything as a goal.
Yeah. Evacuate, says Dobbs the screen right now. Oh, hi, Bowser.
It's like, I would love to evacuate if you would let me. Snivy also getting through. Thank you.
Thank you.
Not a bad little boss rush there.
Dobbs
So
getting updated on his global rank, 115.
Holy cow. So, just updating everyone. 4H on our screen, it does have 10 clears. Dobbs is at 7. Snivy, I'm looking for the latest update. Snivy is at 6, and DT is at 4. Alpha Yveltal. I'm butchering that very
No
Yiddish
worries.
name. So, what we're doing, this is the Mario Maker 2 weekly for Speed Gaming. We are on phase 3. This is just complete the most levels that you can on an endless expert run within 20 minutes.
I think it's Alpha. Excuse me. I think it's Alpha Yveltal. Being familiar with Pokemon, I think that's how you say it.
Oh, it looked Yiddish to me for some reason.
Sergeant Snivy not throwing the power block in time, has to throw it to get those munchers to go away. And it looks like it's a speed run level because it says go, go! And yeah, 20 seconds to complete. I don't think I would be staying too much time here unless this can be done quickly. I see laughing emojis. That's not a good sign.
Yeah, Andy has gotten quite a few short levels.
Oh, he did it. Sergeant Snivy did that.
Woo!
I thought he was going to just miss it.
This is another one of those track levels that Dobbs is doing that, Dobbs has one of the best scores that I've ever seen in terms of his high score on completing actual expert runs. But when it comes to completing them quickly, he's not being terribly picky. He's like, oh yeah, I can beat this. But some levels are taking him quite a long time.
And that's one of the things when you consider the format that we are doing here. You want to complete as many as you can, as quickly as you can. You want to be able to judicious and pick the levels that you think you can do quickly without taking too much time. So just doing the challenge of completing the level here is not enough. You have to complete as many as you can as quickly as possible.
All right, and we're down to less than 20 seconds. So these runners are trying to get their last level.
Yep, we're going to have time up in just a moment here. Dobbs is getting another clear, and this will be his last clear. He did get that last one in time, it looks like.
Just barely.
As his timer is about to expire, and his time is up. So he got that last one. That was a new world record for him as well, it looks like, on that last level. So he gets 9 on his count from what I can see. Sergeant Snivey's realizing time was up and is probably going to bail out of this level. Or may come back and do it later. I don't know which. And 4H is clearing another level, but I don't think that one will count because there was 25 seconds counting up on his timer when he did it. So that level will not count. And that means that when we see his total right now, it's going to show, well, he's not moving on.
All right, so we're going to see who ends up finishing first and second place between all the runners. Remember, our first phase was completing 5 blind races. We had Chaos at the very beginning, who just flew through those 5 races. It was a blind run, but man, he just powered through those. And then the second part was 3 of those 5 were optimization runs, and we're gonna get some scores in for there. And then the final phase, it was this phase, who can complete the most levels on an endless run. So we're going to have our folks doing the work behind the scenes to figure out who's going to be our first place winner this week.
Well,
Hopefully we can get that.
I'm going to get some counts from our count channel right now as to where some runners finished the marathon. The Hourglass came with a final count of 7. And 4H is knowing that he had an 11. I don't know if that includes the level he just finished. I'm going to assume that it does not. Coas Legion shows 8 as his final count. Dobbs is showing, we saw that on the last level right there, 9 was his final count. I showed that McLovin came up with a 6, Slim Kirby came up with a 3, and I don't know what our last two, Sergeant Snivy just posted he had 7, which I think we saw as well. I don't think I saw our final runners count. I may have just missed it as well.
I do want to say it looks like, from the vote totals of what I'm seeing for everyone's favorite levels, it does appear as though GFE's in-service inspired classic mix, the SMB1 level that we had there at the very end, is our runaway winner there at the very end.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and make sure our runners, any who do not have a vote in yet, are able to get their vote in. I was just trying to get the poll to them quickly.
Okay, I thought that they had it, but no, you're absolutely.
They might have. They might have. I'm just making sure. So we're going to go ahead and get an update on that right now. The more important thing we want to find out right now is who is the overall winner of today's festivities and see who the best runner of the week is. We'll see if we can get if any of the runners want to join us to chat about this as well for a few minutes before we go off air as well.
And once again, of course, if you guys out there in the internet world, if you're watching this on YouTube or are currently watching this on Twitch, feel free to join our Discord so you can participate in this weekly race. It takes place every week. 2:00 Eastern is when we try to start. 3 levels. Also, we're looking for more level designers, so feel free to also submit your levels to us. We try to prefer levels that maybe these runners have not seen, so the newer the better. Well, now you're talking. Sorry, my cat, guys. But feel free to join us in Discord. We would love to have you guys. The Speed Gaming Network has all sorts of things going on with it. It is not only what we do here on Super Mario Maker 2 Weekly, we also do lots of work with Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, well, all the different Zeldas, really, at this point in time. A lot of the randomizers, Super Metroids, all different sorts of games. Let me pull up the schedule to see what Speed Gaming has going on for it.
Yeah, there's always a lot of events going on here. As you said, for everyone who is watching, make sure you follow Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 through 6 to keep tabs of what events are coming on all of our channels. And it sounds like Vitasia is bringing up that list, so I'll allow him to go over some of what's coming up today.
Yeah, something that looks like it just started over on Speed Gaming 5. It's going to be a Cars glitchless run. So that's going to be exciting. Over on Speed Gaming 2, here at 4:30 Eastern, we have a Super Mario Galaxy speed run. We do have Super Mario Brothers 3 ran. Oh, hang on, but even before that, here on Speed Gaming 1, we have a Final Fantasy randomizer from 6 to 8 tonight here on Speed Gaming 1. And then at 9 o'clock, we have an SMB 3 randomizer weekly race that's going on here on Speed Gaming. Also, Pokemon Red Blue speed run at 7 o'clock tonight on Speed Gaming 3. It says UT Fall 2019. I don't know which tournament that is. So, Cyclone, do you know what the UT tournament is?
Which tournament? Sorry?
It says UT Fall 2019.
Oh, that's Undertale. Undertale.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the Undertale Genocide run. That tournament is started just, I think, about 3 days ago. I think that started. I was helping get that started on the first race, so I'm a little familiar with what that one is right now. So I don't have the. It looks like we're not going to have the actual math while we're on air because it looks like no one who's been doing the math for the past weeks knows the math or is here right now to help us do the math. So what we can do is we can give you some information like I did earlier on other items here. For example, we know that Coas Legion won the marathon and 4-H came in second. The Hourglass came in third on the marathon. Looking at the times for the courses, I'm going to try and pick out the fastest times here. We do see that Dobbs came in with a 21.640, and Sergeant Snivy came in with a 21.619. Those appear to be our fast. Oh, wait, there was also Slim Kirby with. Oh, well, that was the wrong time. Sorry. I'm getting it mixed up now. In the name of DT had 21.871. He was third place on Gus in the Gully. So those were our top three for that. On the climb, we had the top time was Dobbs with a 47.898. We saw that very clearly. Very good time. We also had Sergeant Sniper with a 49.363. I skipped over and 4H with a 48.432. That was our second place on that one. Meanwhile, on in-service inspired classic mix, the fastest time was, let me see. These were very, very close. We know that 16.451 was the optimized time that we had at the end. Sergeant Snivy, Coas Legion both tying for that. Coas Legion getting credit for the world record. We have and 4H and Dobbs both with a 16.455. And that was a super close race at the end. So that was a really, really close one. Those top four all within 400 of a second of each other. So Dobbs clearly won on the optimization segment. He also came in fourth place on the marathon. Looking at the total counts for the levels, and 4H was the highest count with 11. Dobbs with the final count of 9. Coas Legion with a final count of 8. Now, since I have not done any of the scorekeeping myself, I don't know the math of how that's all going to add up to determine who the winning runner of the week is. So we will be announcing that at a later time in the Discord. And so keep posted. We'll make sure that the winners do get their prize money. Who the winner is going to get $30. The second place runner will get $20 prize money out of our $100 prize pool. And what we can confirm right now, I think we've given enough time for the runners themselves to get in on their level. So let me just check where we are on the poll. I'm also going to see if any of the runners did want to come and chat about the race as well. And 4H noted he's willing to come in. Coas Legion noted he's willing to come in. So I'll go ahead and I'll see if I can get them both invites before we announce the level winners. So I sent both of them invites. I didn't see anyone else noting they wanted to join, so we'll just go with 2 of them for this. I do see 4H has actually just joined us. So Gigi and 4H, how did you find the levels this week?
I thought they were a little bit short. Like the last week, it took like 10 to 12 minutes to finish all 5. These ones were done in like 5 minutes. It kind of, at least for phase 1. Phase 2, I kind of enjoyed them. I kind of got crushed in them, but I thought they were enjoyable. I will say the frame fighting on the 3rd stage was not pleasant because sub-pixels are no fun in hold rate levels. But aside from that, not too bad.
And we also have Cost Legion in here as well. And just double checking on my screen, he was our winner of the marathon. So he did those levels the fastest out of everyone. What were your thoughts on the levels this week?
Pretty fun. I do see a little bit of a trend, so it's kind of, for me, easy to picture exactly what I'm supposed to do. But mainly because I've been racing for the last 3 weeks now, so yeah, they're fun, but a little bit, what's it called? Predictable, I guess.
Predictable. Okay, that's a very interesting choice of words there. Yeah, some of the levels, once you've been running in these events for a while, it does start to get a little natural, I guess you can say, to do some of the levels like this. So it's starting to lean towards that we should try and get some harder levels in there. And I can certainly see the reason for needing the harder levels at this point. So hopefully we can get some good contributions over the coming week to, and just to remind everyone out there, if you want to have a level submitted for the weekly race here, get your level submitted. We want to include your work in this event and have our extremely talented runners like these 2 running your levels for your entertainment. So definitely feel free to get those levels in here. We want to get some easy levels and some harder levels in there. So definitely get your levels in there. So interesting one I remember seeing, Dobbs was the first runner on the restream on that 3rd level, the SMB themed level, to find the pipe. What was your guys' reaction when you first saw that there was a 17-second time out there waiting to be beaten on that level?
Well, the first thing I said was, "What?" Like there's no way that was possible. So clearly, like 5 minutes into the run, I decided to check for pipes because I'm like, that's the only other way it would be possible to get a 17 when you compare to a 20-second run just going straight.
Yeah, for me, my first thoughts my movement wasn't great my first couple of runs, so I just wanted to see what happened if I actually had better run movement. And then as soon as I realized that I was only going to get 20 as well from just holding right, it's like, well, there's definitely a pipe somewhere or a Starman somewhere to give you move speed. So let's start searching. So I searched, and of course, it was like the second pipe. I mean, it's if you're gonna, imitate 1-1, of course it's gonna be the second pipe. But yeah.
Yeah, Dobbs found that very early. He did the exploration right away on his first run because, and this is something I completely advocate as well. If you're going to be doing an optimization run, explore on the first run. You don't have to get the best time on the first run, obviously. I like what he did. He explored the level completely and found that pipe and realized this is the best way to do it. So he was trying to optimize that path 2 minutes in, and that's when he started posting that time. I'm actually surprised he didn't hold that secret until later to see if to hold that secret and put a crushing time up there. But he wanted to optimize that as much as he could as well and try and make that faster. And in the end, I think he ended up winning that run as well. So that still worked out well for him.
Yeah, Dobbs, the world record announcement betrayed you. It absolutely did.
So let's take a quick look, if we can, here to see what the best level of the week was. We do want to make sure we get that announced here, even though we can't confirm 100% who the best runner is because the people who do the math aren't here for that right now. But let me try to find out what our best level is. I'm looking at the poll right now, and I think we can go ahead and close the poll at this point. With a total of 8 votes, we have our winner. But I'm going to start with second place. The second place runner-up with 6 votes this week was Kuchiri, who submitted The Climb. That ended up being our second place level of the week. Whereas the winning level of the week was the level we were just talking about, In-Service Inspired Classic Mix by GFE. That means he will win the prize for the first place for the best level of the week. And that will be out of our $100 prize pool, $30 for the winning level of the week and 20 for Kushiri as second place. So get your GGs or congratulations, whatever you want to do, in chat for them. We will update on the Discord as to who the winning runner was. I think we should probably get started wrapping up at this point. We've already covered the schedule. So anything else you want to talk about, Vitasia?
No, just please feel free to join us over on the Discord channel. As I've mentioned multiple times, we would love to have some more levels to run. Love to have you guys all join us in the race next week. So we look forward to seeing you over in Discord.
Absolutely. We do look forward to seeing everyone in the Discord, and we are looking forward to having more of these events in the future as well. So definitely get your level submissions. We do want to make sure that, as I said a moment ago, that we do get your work featured here on Speed Gaming as part of these events. I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick copy and paste here, try to get a list of all the codes that we have here for this week's levels. I want to post those in the chat for everyone, including the all 5 of the levels that were on the marathon. So let me just do a quick copy. I will paste that in chat before we go here. While I do that, Vitasia, with any last words you have, go ahead.
No, just it's always great to see you guys run. I'm glad that this is kind of organically and slowly growing week after week. I know our first week about 3 or 4 weeks ago, it was relatively a small event on Speed Gaming, but I like to see that it's growing. It's not necessarily good for you guys because it's harder to get the prize money, but at the same time, I love seeing more people involved, and I would love to see more people involved as well.
Absolutely, and we look forward to having more people involved in the future, and we look forward to having these events going on. So definitely get involved. Definitely run if you want to run. We had several new runners this week. Or create a level, get your level submit. If you have a level that you really want to design and you want to get in here as part of our event, get that level in here. We will definitely look forward to having your level as part of our event. So with that said, let's go ahead and wrap up here. I just want to say stay tuned to all the wonderful events that were just mentioned a moment ago by Vitasia. There are a lot of different events going on here. Zelda 1 Randomizer, for example. I think there's some races that may be getting added to the schedule for later tonight, and some going on today as well. There's some Undertale, as you mentioned, the Genocide Tournament, Link to the Past Randomizer, always going on here. All sorts of things like that, always going on here. Make sure you keep an eye on the schedule, and you'll be able to keep tabs on everything going on here. I want to say thank you for watching, everyone. If it wasn't for you joining us, chat, it would basically just be Vitasia and I talking to ourselves, which thanks for watching us talk to ourselves, and we hope to see you next time here on the Super Mario Maker 2 weekly race. Thank you for watching, and have yourself a great afternoon.